Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I'm talking about Elimination Chamber, just a preview of what's to come later tonight. But first, I want to give my thoughts on last week's pay-per-view, TakeOver Vengeance Day. This show is fantastic. Every match was killer. Any one of these matches could have been the main event. It was so much fun to watch. We opened up with Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez versus Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart in the finals of the Women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, and Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez won. They will go on to face the Women's Tag Champions at some point in the future. Who will those champions be? That may change at Elimination Chamber. We'll get to that. Johnny Gargano successfully defended his North American Championship against Kushida. MSK faced Grizzled Young Veterans in the finals of the Men's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, and MSK won. They will go on to face Danny and Oni at some point, our current NXT Tag Champions. Then we had the triple threat of Io Shirai, the women's champion, who defeated Mercedes Martinez and Toni Storm. This match it was pretty good. It ended fairly abruptly, and so I think the ending had to be adjusted on the fly due to at the very least, due to a table malfunction. But it was very entertaining nonetheless. It just felt like it had a little bit more that was maybe was planned to happen. But still, all three of them, amazing. And then our main event, Finn Balor successfully defended his championship against Pete Dunne. But Pete's friends, Oni and Danny, came out and helped attack Finn. Undisputed Era came out and fought them off. But as they stood tall with Finn at the end of the night, Adam Cole super kicks Finn right in the face, and then super kicks Kyle in the face as well. What is going on? I don't know. Now, I do have an idea of what happened on this week's NXT. I have not watched it yet. I'm probably going to watch it right after I finish recording this because I have just enough time to do that before I enter the Thunderdome for Elimination Chamber. But it seemed he went on the attack some more, attacked Kyle even more, and perhaps will be explaining his actions next week on NXT. All right, let's get to the Elimination Chamber. I am so excited for this show. The two chamber matches are going to be fantastic. And then we get a Universal Championship match. I don't know if that championship match will be immediately following the chamber in which the winner wins that opportunity, but it would be pretty jerk thing to do. Which I wouldn't put past Roman at all. But yeah, we have a SmackDown Elimination Chamber match and a Raw Elimination Chamber match. The Raw Chamber match is for the WWE Championship. Our champion Drew McIntyre faces off against AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, Sheamus, and Kofi Kingston. Sheamus this past week won the advantage in this match. There's a big old gauntlet match in the last hour of last week's show, and so Sheamus has a huge advantage here. I could definitely see it coming down to Drew versus Sheamus at the end, with Drew probably retaining the championship. I'm going to say Drew is still the champion coming out of the chamber match. We have Bobby Lashley, the United States champion, versus Keith Lee and Riddle. I think this would be a fantastic time for Keith Lee to become a champion on Raw. So I am rooting for Keith Lee there. That's going to be a pretty brutal match, I think. Then we had the SmackDown Elimination Chamber match. Jey Uso versus Kevin Owens versus King Corbin versus Sami Zayn versus Cesaro versus Daniel Bryan. My God, this match is going to be great. It's going to be great. I'm rooting for Cesaro, of course, but unfortunately, I think whoever wins this match is going to lose against Roman Reigns later in the night. Um, so I wouldn't necessarily mind Cesaro not winning just because he would lose to Roman anyway. So in that case, I hope King Corbin wins or Sami Zayn, and then they just get squished by Roman right away. um, so that covers my predictions for the Universal Championship match. And then we have Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, who are so funny together. They appeared on Ding Dong Hello this week. They're like going through the door at the same time. All of that so funny. Their interactions over on NXT. I just saw a small clip of it. I don't think I saw the entire thing. Um, and the whole thing is so funny. But they'll be facing off against Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. Shayna got pinned by Reginald. We had a 3-on-3 match last night with Bailey teaming up with the tag champs to face off against Sasha, Bianca, and Reginald. It's a strange situation with Reginald, but he is very talented. And I don't think I talked about this last week, but since in the past few weeks, I learned that Reginald is a former Cirque du Soleil performer, and he can do all kinds of great stuff. Look up his what is his real name? I forget, but if you look up when it was announced that he joined the Performance Center and signed with NXT and all that, they use his real name. And if you can then look up his circus performance stuff, go check it out. Some really really cool stuff. So anyway, that was really fun. I enjoyed that. I do have to talk about that. There was a qualifying match between Kofi and The Miz, because The Miz was giving up his spot because he doesn't need to fight in the Elimination Chamber. He has the Money in the Bank contract, which makes a lot of sense. And I totally forgot. This reminds me, this could absolutely come into play. At the end of the night, whoever wins the chamber match, Miz could be right there to cash in, take advantage, win the match, or just become part of the chamber match anyway. After everybody else has gotten beaten down, when it's down to just two people or whatever. Maybe. I don't know. But then he has to eliminate two people. It's more likely that he cashes in after the chamber has concluded. But anyway, yeah, he's giving up his spot, assuming that he'd be able to get that spot given to Morrison. But Kofi had a strong case presented to Adam Pearce. I think they presented it to Adam Pearce. And so instead we got, if The Miz wins, John Morrison gets the spot. If Kofi wins, he gets the spot. So Kofi not only had that match against The Miz, but was also in the gauntlet match later on. And he did not win. I think it was the second person eliminated. He defeated the first person he went up against, I think. Who did he fight first? Was it AJ? I think it was AJ who he fought first. But yeah. Kofi is in the Elimination Chamber again. And that's going to be great. But like I said, that whole sequence of events was pretty good, and it has me intrigued about if the Money in the Bank contract will come into play. So there you go. Who's gonna start each chamber? Let's see here. I think we'll start out with like with the Randy versus AJ or something like that. We might also have some Fiend involvement, some Alexa involvement whenever Randy's turn takes place. Maybe Randy even gets abducted or something before the match begins and gets replaced last minute. Who even knows? There's all kinds of stuff that could happen with that. Amos, is he going to be able to help AJ out at all? What if AJ is able to work out a deal where Amos is in the match as well, and they both have to be they both have to be in a chamber pod together? That would be pretty ridiculous and awesome. But probably who starts? I'd say Jay versus Cesaro starts out the Smackdown Elimination Chamber. Something like that. So there you go. I'm excited. We'll see if they end up making a new match for Asuka because Lacey Evans is pregnant, so she cannot fight Asuka in the championship match that she earned a couple of weeks ago. It probably makes sense. They can make a case for anybody. You just have to write a sentence explaining it, and it's like, okay, fine, have the match, whatever. Asuka's gonna win. It's cool. But it would make, I guess it would make the most sense if Charlotte was, because she was in the match against Lacey. They're both in consideration for the number one contender. It would be great if we got Peyton versus Asuka. If we got Naomi versus Asuka, Lana versus Asuka, really anybody else who's on Raw. I honestly can't think of who else is on Raw currently. Oh, Alexa, I don't think would make sense to be on there yet. Be back in the in a title match yet. Dana, that makes sense. Mandy, of course. Um, Nia and Shayna already have a match. Nikki Cross, she could have a title match. That'd be great. You have Reckoning. That's everybody who's listed on here. But anyway, I'm excited. Also, I'm really loving all of the Bad Bunny stuff. He's the 24/7 champion. I don't. Well, last time I checked, title may have changed hands. In the last 24 hours since he hosted Saturday Night Live. I'm gonna check on that real quick. Okay, Bad Bunny is still the champion, and he did not lose the championship while he was at SNL. So good for him. But I thought for certain we'd get Keenan in there winning the championship for a couple minutes or something. Who knows? Maybe they didn't update this website. Maybe that did happen. All right. So that is it. That's my predictions, my hopes for Elimination Chamber. And this might be the last episode for this month. Maybe I should do a quick follow-up later this week in response to the Elimination Chamber, how everything went. So be on the lookout for that. It's going to be a real quick episode, even quicker than this one. But let me know what you thought about this week of stuff and what you think will happen at Elimination Chamber by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you like to listen. Stay safe, healthy, and happy out there in all of the infinite multiverses, and I will see you next time here on TIW Podcast. Bye.